Hi, and welcome back to Keep Smiling with Larry Rifkin. I'm Larry Rifkin. How are you? Today, we're going to talk about a few things. What controls our universe? And we're controlled by laws, whether they're universal laws or whether they're natural laws or whatever. And understanding the laws that control our reality will make our life a lot easier if we understand how they work and we accept them and we incorporate them in our lives. And when it comes to spirituality, there are really seven natural laws, and that's what we like to discuss today. And hopefully, I'm asking you to put in your opinion and to write us and blog us about this and talk to us about this. But I'll go over the seven laws and how I perceive them and what I believe how they affect our lives and how they affect us going over. First, I'll say what the seven laws are, and then I'll go over each one of them. We have the law of control, the law of accident, the law of cause and effect, the law of belief, the law of expectation, the law of attraction, and the law of correspondence. And I don't know if we've all had one of those days where just, everything isn't going our way, or we're finding confrontation or challenges everywhere we turn and everywhere we look. And we think about how we can change that, how it affects us, and why these things are going on. So we all have days like this, and we all have issues like this, and realizing that there are two types of laws. There are the natural laws, which are like the law of gravity. I don't think we necessarily understand it, but it's part of our world. We accept it, and it just is. And all these laws, they just are. So you have the natural law of gravity. You have the universal laws, the spiritual laws, the seven laws of spirituality. And if we start and we look at these, the first law is the law of control. And the law of control is knowing and recognizing what we do have control of in our lives, which is really our thoughts and our mind and how we feel, and recognizing what we really don't have control of. But knowing that everything that is happening in our lives and everything in our world and in our universe comes to us, and is brought about by what we think, the emotions and the feelings that we put behind what we think and how we feel. This is the law of control. And if we can control our thoughts and control how we feel, that gives us high self-esteem because we feel good about ourselves. We feel confident about ourselves. We feel confident about the situation. The second law is the law of accident. The law of accident really lowers your self-esteem, lowers your vibrational frequency, your vibrational thoughts that you're putting out there, because you think that your environment and your world and your life is out of your control and is controlled by other things. And everything happens by accident, and you can't control your thoughts or you can't control how you feel, and it's a law of accident. And law of accidents relates to a lower self-esteem. So if we recognize this and we know that the law of control, and we can control our thoughts and we can control our feelings, this gives us a higher self-esteem and a higher feeling of coming from a happy place and feeling good, and that we do control what we think, how we think, the emotions we put behind it, and not that everything is an accident. I personally don't believe that anything is an accident. I don't believe in coincidence, in things along that type of line. There's synchronicity that I do believe in, but I also recognize that nothing is an accident. Everything happens for a reason, which leads us into the third law, which is the law of cause and effect. And the law of cause and effect says that everything does happen for a reason, and there are consequences for any action that we take, any thoughts that we have, for anything that we do. There's a cause and effect, a yin and a yang. There there is for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. We want to try to make sure that we don't just react to certain situations. And the law of cause and effect states, if I change my mindset and see the beauty and see the good in this situation, the effect is now going to be that other things that I look at and other things that we look at and other things that we see and feel are going to have that. If we believe in our heart of hearts and put feelings and emotions behind it, that nothing's going to be good and nothing's going to be right. And there's going to be issue and challenge and problems, which I don't even like using that word, everywhere you turn. You have a real good chance of becoming a prophet because you're going to be right. That's what you will see and that's what you will find. So knowing that there is a law of cause and effect in everything that we do and everything that we think and everything that we feel has an effect on our world and on our universe. So the law of cause and effect is, yes, the cause is my thoughts. My thoughts are creating this effect. My thoughts are creating challenges where there really weren't any challenges, or seeing problems where there really weren't any problems, or seeing solutions where before you only saw a brick wall, or seeing a way around a situation or through it or over it or under it, but know that you're going to get through it. It's the law of cause and effect. The next spiritual law out of the 7 spiritual laws is the law of belief. Knowing that if we put our feelings again and our emotions behind something, we know that the outcome is going to be what we believe. We started a company here, I'll give you an example, a while ago. And we are growing and expanding, and we hit road bumps along the way. Road bumps that we expected, road bumps that we didn't expect. It doesn't matter because we believe, we know, we have feelings, we have emotions behind it, that what we're doing is bringing good to a large audience, is helping people, it's helping a community, the spiritual community, the community that's looking for self-empowerment, the community that's looking for self-growth. We know, we believe in our heart, with feelings and emotions behind it, that no matter what bumps come in the road, no matter what challenges we come across, that this is going to be because of the law of belief. We believe it to be this global portal that we're building for a spiritual community, for a community of like-minded people that is going to empower them and show them how they can control and change their lives and their thoughts, and how they can be the best person that they are, and that they are already a gift to the universe in their own special way, because we're all gifts to the universe in our own special way. So the law of belief is really based around putting feelings and emotions behind it. And that ties into the next one, which is the law of expectation. And the law of expectation is what we know is going to happen with confidence. I expect this. I expect, and that's what's going to happen. If you walk into a situation and you walk into your family after work, after a hard day of work, and you just had a couple of issues at work, and you came home and you were in rush hour traffic, and somebody cut you off, and you know that you're walking into a situation where your spouse or your partner has been dealing with the kids screaming and yelling and doing homework, and you expect that you're going to walk in to a confrontation. Guess what? You're going to. You're going to walk into a confrontation. If you expect that no matter what happens, I'm going to find a way through this. I'm going to find a way around this. I will make this happen. If we have to change thoughts, if we have to change plans, it doesn't matter. Because this is what I expect. I expect this to be a global portal for resources, for information, for knowledge, for wisdom. That's my expectation on a global level. And that's what I put out there. And that's what I'm going to put out there. And that's what's going to create and build my reality. If I expect that every time I wake up or every time I come into an area or an office or whatever, that there's going to be a problem, there will be. If I expect that every time I walk out on after dinner and go for a walk, that everywhere I look, I'm going to see beauty. I'm going to see the majesty of the universe. That's what I see. I walk out, I look up at the stars, I look up at the moon, I look up at all of that, and I can see all of that because that's what I expect. So we have the law of expectation. The next law is basically the law of attraction, which states what we focus on. So we consciously have to think about what's in our mind, not just open up our mind, not just go in there, but we have to consciously think about what's in our mind. And the law of attraction is where we focus. And to break it down to its simplest terms, and we've gone over this, I know I say this a lot, but it boils down to three words. Like attracts like. So, the law of attraction, what we focus our thoughts on, and what we empower our thoughts to be, raises our self-esteem, raises the feeling of happiness that we have, the feeling of security that we have, the feeling of confidence that we have, the feeling of exuberance that we have. That is what we're going to put out to the universe. So the law of attraction, which is what we've spoken about a lot, happens to be one of my main focuses, is the law of attraction and vibrational matching. But that is the sixth law of the 7 universal laws of spirituality. And the law of attraction and all of these laws have been around for, I want to say, I would start out by saying years, but they've been around for much longer than years. I would go to saying decades, but they've been around since much longer than decades. They've been around since the beginning of time. People might not have realized it and recognized it or put it into these words, but it's always been there. It's always been what we focused our thoughts on, is what we're going to put out and what we're going to create. What we think about with emotion and with feeling behind us is what's going to come back to us. What we believe in our heart of hearts is going to happen, the law of expectation, that is going to happen. Now, you just went through a hard relationship, you broke up, and you're saying to yourself, well, I expect us to get back together. You really don't. And if that's how you're thinking it in a way that the universe doesn't hear the feelings and all that. And the feelings that you were having back there is that this didn't work out. She just walked out on me, or he just left, and whatever he's doing, that's what's going to come back to us. So again, these 7 laws of spirituality, these 7 universal laws, are what control our universe, or what control our world, what control everything that we have and that happens to us and that we do. So if we can grasp them. And the last law, and the seventh law, is the law of correspondence. And what this means is, well, let me see how to break it down best. As within is without. What we believe in ourselves, the law of correspondence, if we believe that we're not worthy, if we believe we're not beautiful, if we believe that we don't have something to contribute to society, to contribute to the family, to contribute to the business, to contribute to the vacation, whatever it is, that will be what comes out because of the law of correspondence. As within is without. So everything, we recognize this before, and we've spoken about this many times, everything comes from within. Our thoughts, our feelings, our happiness, our wisdom, our entire universe is created from what we feel within us. We can't be happy outside if we're not happy inside. We can't love somebody else if we don't love ourselves. So, as within is without. So the law of correspondence states that how I feel inside is how my universe is going to appear to me. So, the seven universal laws of spirituality: law of control, law of accident. Law of control gives you high self-esteem and feeling of empowerment and feeling good. The law of accident means you don't realize that you have control and you think that everything happens in your life is an accident. The law of cause and effect. Everything, there is an equal and opposite reaction to every action that's out there. The law of belief, the law of expectation, the law of attraction, and the law of correspondence. And these are the seven universal laws of spirituality. And as we realize this, and as we are able to harness them and make them part of our DNA, part of our world, part of our life, part of everything, we're going to find that our experiences here are much happier, are much more satisfying, and make us feel much better. I hope that this is something that you're able to use in your daily life. Please, if you want more information on this, come to the website. It's listed right at the bottom, www.amazinguniversetv.com, and interact. Tell us what your thoughts are. Let us know what's going on, and please do subscribe. And until next week, have a great time, and remember, no matter what, keep smiling.